What's
Here,
going
here.
on? We're
We're
here.
here.
It is starting to get hot in Vegas. We are officially moving into summer. But it was nice having a cool little spring. And I thought maybe it would last just like one more week. But no, it's
No,
hot. So,
no.
welcome to the show, guys. We're a little after dark special here. Girl Chat Sports with Mo and Mel. Shout out to Fuel Sports Network. You can watch us live, and maybe you are right now on your Fire Stick or Roku. Make sure to tap in. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Girl Chat
Yep.
Sports, and of course, watch the replay. Check out any other fun stuff that we posted, and of course, follow all of our social media. Whew. It's been a week already. So,
101? Are you serious right now? In
we're
May?
breaking it in. We're breaking the triple digits in.
101.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's how it's going. So I do have this bucket hat on for a reason, which we'll get to later. I also want you guys to stay tuned if you're not, because I want to do it towards the end of the show because we'll have more viewership, I'm sure by then. There's a special Adopt Me happening. So I got a special dog that I want to broadcast because he is a cutie pie and he really needs a home because he's been in foster care for far too long. So stay
Oh,
tuned for that. Yes, I know. We are bringing the doggies back. We had to.
yes.
But let's get into some hot topics.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball is officially and finally long overdue, adding the Negro League stats. So I saw a couple different, I don't know, maybe the official, like how many players there were in the Negro Leagues, but one article I read was like 2,400, one said 3,500. Either which way, all of those players' stats are now officially becoming part of the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's huge because I remember there was talk of that
Yeah.
in the past. And having the stats just kind of coincide with MLB stats. But no, this is
It's big.
monumental. We need this. And with Josh Gibson doing what he's done,
Yeah.
1972, who can forget? We weren't born
Well, they
yet.
mentioned that Josh Gibson, so Hall of Fame in 1972, he played
Right.
602 games. So he's basically, now that they're mingling their stats or adding their stats, he's going to be now the lead for batting average, which
Yeah,
will be
absolutely.
over Ty Cobb. And he's also going to have he's going to top Babe Ruth for OPS. So he's now a leading. So a big shout out to Josh Gibson.
But that's always been the conversation, at least among Black folks. That's always been the conversation.
Sure.
Those that have survived and lived in Negro Leagues and went to Negro League games and just know the history of that. That's always been the conversation of Josh Gibson. Josh Gibson, you heard it. You heard more, of course, with number 42 with Jackie Robinson, his integration. There was always a debate about should the Negro Leagues just have stayed and not allowed the guys to go into Major League and just make Major League take everyone. Like it was just all of that kind of talk. And now we're seeing history, like I said, for us with it all coexisting together, which it should have been a long time ago.
Yeah. And all those Negro League players that did move into the major leagues, like Jackie Robinson and a handful of others, all of those players like Willie Mays, Minnie Minoso, they're all getting their stats will be higher now. In regard, because they'll be getting they'll get
those stats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So big deal, big time, and it's great to see that that's finally happened. So
I know. I should have worn one.
I know a lot of the families and a lot of the families of those players were excited for this and really happy to hear. So it was good.
Yeah, I should have worn one of my Negro League baseball hats. I got one.
You should have.
I know.
I've got one for the Seattle team, or that they had a Seattle team, the Seattle, well, not the Pilots. I think it was the Pilots. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's what I posted on our thing, on our story. Was a
Oh, really?
One of the other famous ones. They had the grays and all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So cool. Very good.
Very good. In some sadder news, though, it was crazy. I had, I don't watch a lot of golf, so I think I had the golf channel. I think I had the golf on before the PJ Schwab Challenge tournament was starting on Saturday morning, and for some reason, it was just on, and I heard the news that Grayson Murray had passed away, and he was 30 years old.
Right.
He had battling with alcoholism and some other things, mental health. But he had called in the Friday before and withdrew from the challenge, citing an illness. it was announced Saturday and found that he had passed on Saturday morning. His family reported that it was suicide.
Man.
And I'm just like, listen, I can't speak for anybody in that position. So all I can say is that just know that people love you no matter where you're at or wherever your mental health is at or whatever demons are battling within, and reach out to somebody. I hadn't known this because, there's always been like this crisis suicide hotline, a 1-800 number. Well, there's now a 988. If you just dial 988 from any phone, that'll get you directly to the national network of local crisis centers that provide free and confidential and emotional support to people that are in suicide.
Oh, good.
24. Good. So we don't need to remember a long, 10-digit number. It's 988. That's it.
That's great.
So pass that information along. Give it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do what you need to do with it.
Yeah, because I was actually shocked that he passed away at such a young age. I remember seeing that news on Saturday, and I'm like, dang, 30. And then they said he was like midweek. He announced that he wasn't going to participate, and then he died Saturday. They said illness, and they never disclosed what the illness was. But now we know, and it's like, oh, that's devastating and hard. Yeah,
it's very sad. Like, you just think about, like, what could have been done different? What could have maybe changed? What could have helped? Maybe if he had called somebody. Did he call somebody? I mean, who knows? So it's unfortunate, and our thoughts and prayers are out to the family. But yeah, just remember 988. Yeah. 988. Last but not least, I got to play I got a couple of videos. They're a little long this week, but it's not bad. But this one, it's going to get your juices flowing. It's going to get the little hairs on your arm going. Okay. There's a new Gatorade commercial that's narrated by Michael Jordan, Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Josh Allen, Jason Tatum, and the track and field star Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. All in it, and it's phenomenal. So here it goes.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing: what you have inside. It is what drives the game.
Send out 1,000 emails just to say, take a look at my tape.
It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. Turns an athlete into a legend.
Tatum takes it, makes it.
It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade.
Wow.
Deep. I just, hearing Michael's voice. And...
First of all, I'm shocked that he even did this. That's
right. I mean,
I'm very
hey,
shocked that he actually participated with this. I really am. But it also solidifies that this man is the true GOAT. Enough with the debates.
I mean,
they got a true GOAT speaking existence into future GOATs, or those with the GOAT mentality.
Right.
It's phenomenal. But again, like I said, I'm shocked that I would have never thought this guy would come out of wherever he's hiding, or Formula One, or whatever he's doing virtually, and kicking it to do a commercial for Gatorade and prop these athletes up like that with that message. I mean, it gave me chills. It almost made me think about Kobe Bryant, because it was like, this is one of those things that you would love to hear his voice on something like this.
Man.
With the passing the torch and doing that kind of thing. But man, yeah. That's
pretty
good.
dope.
That needs to rotate all summer.
It should. It definitely needs to. I mean, here's the deal. We've already seen enough Gatorade commercials. I want to see this one. I want the Gatorade water commercial replaced. I'm over that commercial. I'm over that whatever music or song is on that drives me absolutely crazy. So I'm all for this one playing. Play this during the WNBA halftimes, because we all know we're getting sick of just watching a yellow screen and seeing old highlights of drafting.
Absolutely.
So,
just play this through the summer.
Just play it through everything. Play it through everything. Yeah. We do have a couple Jugadores, but update, Scotty Scheffler. So all charges were dropped on him criminally. So
you don't say.
Seems like the police there were a little extra, and
well, they were sloppy too, because I think the body cam wasn't on the officer when he did that.
And there was like 20 cops there, so you're gonna say that all of these cops didn't have their body cams on?
Ridiculous.
So
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
So I'm glad. But he ended up coming out and winning that tournament anyway. So
He did.
hey, he had
Yeah.
the ups and downs to do it both, I guess. Yeah.
Right. But still, just ridiculousness. They're talking about no body cam on or this or that. Oh, it's too much messing up.
Nothing.
So
He said all
they
that.
needed
He
to.
said all that. Oh
Good.
my gosh. We also need so I don't know the facts. We're just reporting. We're not saying that's true or not. So Isaiah Buggs is with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's played for the Detroit Lions. He's being charged with facing 2 counts of animal cruelty out of Alabama. Apparently 2 dogs were found on the porch of a house that was rented by him, which he had vacated, apparently, through what neighbors are saying. The porch was enclosed, no access to food or water. Dogs were tied up. Both were now malnourished, neglected. The residence, again, was abandoned. It was a pit bull and a Rottweiler. The pit bull had to get euthanized. The Rottweiler was taken by animal control. His attorneys say, so this could be interesting too, his attorneys say is that he's got a hookah lounge there in Tuscaloosa. And they have been trying to close it down for some time. And they continue to threaten him by saying, we're going to release these filings, these charges against you, unless you like basically take your business and close it. So weird.
It's a weird story.
Very weird.
Did he live in the house or he didn't live in the house?
He says he didn't live in the house. He was unaware that there were any dogs that remained on property, that they weren't his dogs. They didn't belong to him. So who knows? But for them to come after him, he must have been on the paperwork to rent the house. Who knows if he was renting the house for himself or for somebody else. Right. I don't know. But the fact is there was 2 dogs there. One died because of him or you or whoever you
tell me the neighbors knew, but they didn't go over and feed the dog.
I don't know. You know me. If that were me, I'd have been there, cut them leashes, and brought him back home. But, yeah.
You survive. The dogs survive better on the streets than they do in some possession.
Tied up with nothing. At least they can get something on those streets. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, that's awful.
So that's another Chief. You know, we've already had enough Chiefs issues throughout this last couple months.
Man, now we've got another cutting up, aren't they?
We got another kicker in the news.
McManus. What did he
do? This is Brian McManus. He's now playing, or he's now not playing, but he was signed on by the Commanders this year. Right. He was released by the Jaguars. He's accused in a lawsuit of sexually assaulting 2 flight attendants during one of last year's flights to London with the Jaguars. So the 2 flight attendants, one reported that he and some other players disregarded their flight attendant personal space, that McManus recruited 3 other flight attendants to party and passed out $100 bills to encourage them to drink and dance inappropriately for him. One flight attendant accused him of attempting to kiss her while she was seated during a session of turbulence, and twice grinding up against her while she was serving in-flight meal service. The second accused him of grinding up against her while serving meal service, and stating that she actually had to spend the entire rest of the flight on the second level of the aircraft for the remainder of the flight just to be away from him.
What was he on? His Wolf of Wall Street?
I'm sorry, but I'm sure the flights can turn up a little bit, but that should be the guys just being guys. It shouldn't be, I need to start. No. Go to a strip club.
You do that on a PJ.
There.
You do that on a PJ. You do that on your own PJ if you got flight attendants with that level of understanding. But you're on a flight. You are a professional athlete. And I say in the keyword professional, meaning
professional.
You're supposed to be professional.
And hence why we have to put them in this category, the Jugadores Locos.
Because he's disgusting for that. If this is true on these allegations, he's disgusting.
It's ridiculous. It's sickening.
Like you're grinding on somebody in their jump seat. Turbulence is
trying to have them like dirty dance and
you're
like
having to want to dance and the sexist and misogynist of it all is ridiculous. Like, and he probably was calling him stewardess on top of that to add insult.
Yeah, a whole mess. Hey, but one other thing, this isn't really Hood or Loco, but I just gotta listen. I don't know what's happening in my hometown, but in Tacoma, just south of Seattle, of course, we all know, Isaiah Thomas got an AK-47 pulled on him. He said that if it wasn't for them recognizing him in his own city, he probably would have ended all of our lives. I'm sorry. Who just walks around? I mean, listen.
Well, the young kids don't care and they don't respect anybody of older.
What is happening with these kids these days?
They don't care.
What is happening?
They really don't care.
Anti-Isaiah Thomas, stop.
They really don't care. God, for the grace of God. That's all that was, because they really don't care.
It's so ridiculous. It hurt me to see that.
It's crazy.
He's coming back. He did a comeback tour in the NBA, unretired, comes back.
Right.
And you're going to put an AK-4. And it's going to happen in your own town. I mean, thank God it was that people recognized him, because what if it was some other town and they didn't know who he was? And
that is insane. First of all,
but if they acting like AK-47s are like a concealed, like you're carrying a conceal and carry with a 9mm, like who just carries around an AK-47 and pulls it out?
My thing is, why are we buying AK-47? Like, this is where we get into this whole conversation about automatic weapons, and I just totally disagree with having any of that stuff. But my question now is, because the kids recognized him, did they scatter? Or was he able to call the police? Did he press charges, or did he just let it rock? Like, listen.
Did they ask for a selfie? I mean, I don't know.
What happened after that? Did he give him a mighty speech of "please don't do this"? So, you know what I mean? Or he just left with his life? Like, thank God.
It's just sickening and
they're like, "Yo, that's like Isaiah Thomas, not him, another person." All right, let's posse out and just leave. Like,
no, that's so bad. Oh God,
it's crazy. World's going crazy.
Let's get into some Las Vegas Aces. Just FYI, the Aces are having their second Aces Academy camp. This is going to be July 9th through the 12th. Co-ed, 6 to 13 years old, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be at the Aces training facility. You got to sign up at lasvegasaces.com/clinics. Skills, drills, swag bags, Aces tickets, prizes, and more. So get signed up. If you got a kid age 6 to 13, make sure you get on that.
I like that.
Yeah. Shout out to the Aces. Took their first road game on.
And did they?
Man.
What did Asia Wilson do tonight?
She had 29 points.
Exactly.
She was one short of her season high of 30. She also had 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, which ties her season high as well. The girl was on fire.
Yeah.
The girl. And maybe she was on fire because she walked in with this.
Oh boy.
So, on the right there, if you can see, and again, I feel bad for those that listen to us on the audio, because you don't really get the full vision of our podcast, but if you can, watch it on YouTube, because you get to see the pictures and what we're really talking about. Anyways, picture of Asia wearing the Don Staley Slam t-shirt. Earlier today, Slam announced that they would be releasing a new Slam cover by the outline of the pose. We all knew it was going to be Coach Don Staley. Asia came down pregame with it on. It is the CEO, Chief Excellence Officer.
Nice.
So yeah, real nice. It looks good too. So there was a few different Gamecock players that I think had it on before the game, but Asia's was the first one that I think people had noticed in. So it was pretty cool. Represent. Also represent. This, I think, happened the last game. She was the first player in WNBA history with 100 points, 50 rebounds through 4 games of the season. 4 games.
She just now getting a shoe deal, and she didn't get the Wilson deal. Okay. Yeah. Carry on.
Well, we know she could have been working on her shoe deal. She said that she had it for like a year or 2 in the works. So we don't know. We don't know for sure. I don't know. But
I love how it's executed immediately after we raise hell, but carry on.
Well, maybe she wanted to keep it hush hush. I don't know. I can't speak for it.
Okay.
And yeah. But yeah. So
she's phenomenal. That's all I'm saying. She's
absolutely
phenomenal. There should be endorsers like knocking on her door. There should be everything thrown at her. Like, come on.
Yeah. Kate Martin had played for 21 points today, and probably because they literally have that's the next one. They have a roster of 9 players. We got 9 players on the roster.
She's money though. So
I mean, it's great. She looked good. She had points. She had boards. She had assists. She's one that
she's actually on the limit. She's on. Her game is on. She's highly activated, and she gets in there, no fear, and she's doing it.
And I got a stat for you. Kia Stokes Currently, the highest percentage in 3-point percentage
gonna
in the
change.
league.
You
Of
gotta be
course it
kidding
was.
me.
She's only had like, I think 4 or 6 attempts, but the fact that 66%
Is that why she's
for
still on the
Houston.
team?
Hey,
She had a
yeah.
rebound tonight.
I think she had
And
more.
actually, not for nothing, at the Fever game, she actually stepped up. She actually did perform a lot better than we've seen her in the earlier 2 games. But
She hit some shots. I think she hit
had
like a shot or 2 today too.
Yeah.
So, here it's all hands on deck right now. We're down 2 players with injury. We have an open spot in the roster. Like they did relieve or waive Daisha Fair,
which is unfair, and I don't understand it, and I need answers.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand that. Like, why did they do that?
It's especially if you haven't picked anybody up. You haven't. It's not like you released her because someone got on the waiver. You were like, oh, let me go pick up. There's been nothing.
Anybody in the audience, join the chat. Give us some answers, context, anything, because I really
shout out to Kevin Jersey the King. He said that Kia is killing it from beyond the arch.
Yeah, for now. She sure is.
Now. Hey, if she can keep this up all season, like, let's just give her an award. I mean, at that point, like, let's go. I'm all for it.
It's very early
all
season.
For it. What's up, Natalie? Thanks for
Natalie.
Her LinkedIn profile picture on her YouTube.
I love it. Professional. Very professional.
Super professional.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, Aces won the day. They had great defense. They held the Lynx to only like 66 points, so that was great. Yeah. We also had over the weekend, we had CC and the whole Iowa fan base in town. Both former coach and new coach, Iowa fans across the board. I saw some great like little Iowa Vegas like half and half jerseys that some people had made. That was pretty cool. But coaches enjoyed it. They got to see Kate and Caitlin go at it, which was nice. The media, of course, had their heyday, and it was just cool to see how they work together. And this is just a quick little video.
Or they got quiet boy in that second half.
Yeah, they did. Caitlin did want to talk. She talked about there was a pregame press conference for Caitlin, which never happens for players that I've noticed. But
yeah, right.
Here's one that she talked about just how much it means to have all the Iowa fans and our coaches being there for not only Kate as well as Megan as well.
It's cool for all of them just to kind of see us coming in as freshmen, and then a lot of them had recruited, especially me, since I was in 8th grade. So this feels like they've known me since I've been 13 years old, and now I'm 22, getting to live out my dream, and they've been a huge part of that and helping me get here and helping Megan and Kate get here too. So it's a great moment for them. I'm sure they're not complaining about a trip to Vegas by any means. I think they've been here for a few days. So I'm just interested to see which ones are wearing fever gear and which ones are wearing Las Vegas Aces gear. So whoever shows up in the Aces gear, I don't know if I'll ever talk to them again. I'm kidding. But I'm sure it's going to be a 50-50 split. They probably planned it out. So Coach Jay and Coach Bluter, I'm guessing, will probably be neutral clothes, but the other ones probably are going to pick a side. So that'd be
a house divided.
It's like the mom. It's like the parents that gotta come and support both kids playing against each other.
Right. A house divided. It's tough. It's a tough go, but great game, great turnout. I never got the final count. If it was, I believe it was a sold out game.
It was a sold out game, yeah, which we definitely need to talk about anyway. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then they reconvene again in July, right? This time at T-Mobile. First weekend.
It'll be at T-Mobile. So I believe it's a during the week game. I think it's like a Tuesday. It's like July 2nd, right before 4th of July weekend.
Right,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah, it should be. So this is what I got to talk about. And I mentioned it to somebody there when I was there Saturday, because I take pictures whenever I'm there, and I've taken pictures of the crowd because those same areas of seats are missing every game. This was a second quarter of the Aces Indiana game that was sold out. This is, of course, behind the Fever's bench. If you can, you can literally see, I'd say at least 20 to 30 seats that weren't sold. And I'm guessing it's the people that were charging $1,000 or some dollars for a seat.
Possibly. But was that the same type of seating that looked missing the last game?
Yes, I put if I had how you could, if I could do like one of those like filters where you can just put them on top of each other, like majority of there's definitely more seats full during this game than there was I think for that first, I think it was the second game we played when
Yeah.
I took the first picture. But it was the same sections, just a little bit more were full this time. I don't know. I just
Man.
feel like if you're not going to sell it, or if you can't sell it by like game time, just drop the price and let some people get there for face value, if nothing
Well, the
else.
funny thing about that is I think what we need to do is go to that section literally and find the row and everything and go on Ticketmaster to see what that price is of those tickets in that section if they keep doing this. And not for nothing, it was Memorial Day weekend. Maybe they're just like, you know what, we just go let it rock.
I mean, true, but it was a noon game. Like, unless you were busy from partying the night before, or who knows,
I don't know who
but it
seats they
wasn't
are,
like.
but I need to know how much they are, what section that is, and what row, because I feel like whoever, if we find that context out, people, those seats will be filled. All we got to do is post like, hey, we see those seats
Start
available.
posting. Hey,
And then
I
put
see
that
this.
picture next to it.
You're still not selling your seats. Maybe you should
Right.
just start
Well, who are
taking like,
you?
face value prices.
And then I see
but
two dope aisle seats. Like no one's sitting in the aisle right there.
none. Look at this. There's a handful
No
of aisle
one's sitting
seats.
in the aisle.
No, none. And you know me,
Whole
if I
row
was sitting,
full except the two aisle seats. The two seats off the aisle.
yeah.
I need to know
And
what
so, like I
section
said,
row
this
that
wasn't like the beginning of the game. This wasn't right after the
is.
halftime.
No, second
This was
period.
peak second period when everybody should have been at their seat.
Well, here's something too that is a little frustrating, and maybe they could have got PO'd or whatever. But you cannot go to your seat while game is in play. So you have ushers now that will stop you.
Really? They started
Yes, they do the Knights thing.
that? Oh, God.
They will not let you come to your seat while the game is in play. There has to literally be a timeout or some kind of stop of the game in order to get to your seat.
They look like they were in
There
play.
could be a possibility if people leave for their concessions, there's a chance
Yeah.
if game is in play, they're not getting to their seats.
Okay, so
And
for
it's
future
subjective.
reference, yes.
It's subjective to whoever the usher is, who's cool or not. But that day that I showed up, I was there for most of the end of the first quarter, but could not get to my seat. And there was a line to get to the seat because the usher was holding everybody up. The game was in play. We were begging for a stop just to get to our seat. I'm literally 2 rows down from the entry point, and I still
like, let me just squeeze by real quick.
So just so you know, they are doing that. If the game is, and it could be because it was televised. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe when it's televised games, they're doing that. They don't want to see crowds, whatever. But they will not let you get to your seat if game is in play.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So who knows?
God.
Frustration could have been real, but like, F this, man. I can't even get to my seat. Y'all stopping me.
Hey, I hear it.
Might as well stay.
I mean, I don't know if I would leave, but maybe I go get some food that I didn't get before.
Yeah,
or hit the
watch it
bathroom.
for the monitors. Like, let me know when it's halftime. Like, for real. Like, this is crazy.
Let me know.
But that's what they're doing.
Oh wow! So the Aces got a 3-game road trip, so they'll be in Atlanta on Friday, and then next Wednesday in Dallas. They'll be back home next Friday on the 7th versus the Storm. So
W's, all 3 W's. Yeah. We'll take
that.
Yes.
What's up, Lisa? She asked if the Aces win. They did.
Yes, they did. They said 4-1 now, just like Minnesota Lynx are now 4-2.
Absolutely.
Had more games, which is weird because they were 4-1 before they started the game.
Oh, she said she had them -5.5, and they covered.
Oh, nice.
There you
and
go.
They covered big time.
Here's the deal. 4:00 stuck up on me so fast by like, it was, I didn't even make a bet today because I was like, why am I thinking it's like noon or 1 and it's 5:00?
For some odd reason, I didn't think today was the 29th. I'm like, oh, the game is tomorrow. All day I was thinking the game is tomorrow. And I'm like, wait a minute. Today is Wednesday. When you have that extra day off, it throws you off for the week. And I'm like, dang, it is Wednesday.
See, I always have that day off. So I'm used to it. I just feel like because we're getting closer to where it's lighter outside longer. So like, even now when we started the show at 8, it was still a little light out. So I'm like, this isn't the right time. It's supposed to be dark when we do our show. Oh, well. Back into other Vegas sports news real quick. We're going to get into WNBA in a second, but the Aviators are back in town. They had Bark in the Park today. There's $2 beer night tomorrow. Jersey giveaway for the first 2,000 fans on Friday. Get this, for all you fellas that want to wear your princess outfits. Princess night, come dressed as your favorite prince or princess. And that's Saturday, and then Sunday is kids run the bases. So
I need Metallica Dan to show up with the Prince Eric outfit.
Please. Please, Mystic Dan, make it
Yes.
happen. That'd be so much fun.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Mystic
I
Dan
love it.
for sure.
We got to give a shout out to the Las Vegas Lights. We'll be back home this Saturday. First of all, they went to Tampa, right? And our owner, Joey Batista, was present, as you can see on the left. I didn't get the full picture, but just the stadium for them in Tampa is beautiful. It looks like a little smaller version of a Major League Soccer team. It just looks new, freshly painted. Everything's color coordinated. It just looked nice.
Right.
I just need Cashman to step up. If they're not going to have another facility somewhere, then Cashman has to. They did good since last year. Like, they definitely made a bunch of improvements.
Oh,
but it's the color of Cashman. It's like that Pepto-Bismol-y kind of pinky tan. It's just
not it.
It's not it.
And the fact that the XFL kept that was a shame too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the Lights are home this Saturday. They have Military Appreciation Night against Phoenix Rising. So make sure you come out there. Match time is for 7:30. If you haven't gone, you better get out there before
I might have to check that one out. I might have to go to that one.
It's gonna be. There's a lot of stuff happening this weekend. So you got the Aviators, you got the Lights. You also have the Vegas Nighthawks. So this promo, I had to wear a bucket hat because I already bought my tickets. Because of course I love bucket hat. And the Vegas Nighthawks have a promotion presented by Fox 5. So if you go through a particular link on their bio, you can buy $25. They start at $25 for tickets, which will get you a bucket hat, which is reversible, as well as your ticket to the game. The team the team is 7-1. They did lose last Saturday, so they're no longer undefeated, but they are still undefeated at home. So I'm going to that game. If anybody else wants to go, make sure you go to their fan page. You gotta love a reversible.
Oh, absolutely.
Bucket hats for the summer, for the pool.
Perfect. It is so chic on you too. Looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, and we've had these guys on our show before. Shout out to Greater Youth Sports. They actually have a basketball youth sports day. It is tomorrow. It's Thursday. So if you're listening to this or catch this, it's Thursday tomorrow. Co-ed grades 3rd through 5th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Torrey Pines Resource Community Center on Torrey Pines in Las Vegas. It's basketball. It's free. Space is limited. Register today at greateryouthsportsnv.org and get on there if you want to. Or if you're watching, just hit that little QR link right there.
Right.
Boom. And then you got something for your kids to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because school's out and kids have nothing to do.
They don't.
And it's getting
hot. They need something to do. And this is perfect.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. Perfect.
I know. Lisa, listen, I need to have a hat sale. Like, I only have a handful of bucket hats, but if you could see the amount of baseball caps I have, it's probably sickening. And it really is. Like, there's hats that I know that I'm going to wear all the time, and there's hats in like a closet that I just break out for special purposes. But there's too many hats. It's a lot. It's just.
But the hats will be good for the summer. Or cover your, it's good.
Always good. It's always good to help with shade. It's good for the pools, and it. I have to bring a hat whenever I'm at the pool. So yeah. Getting into some WNBA news. This was really great to see. There was a video.
I saw that. It was so cool.
It was really great. So Bianca, Kobe's daughter, was out there shooting with Sabrina, and hey, she could be the next. She could be the next Gigi. She could be the next star there. Because somebody else has to take on the talents, like you got a Bryant last name.
It looks like she's interested. It looks like she's got
and Sabrina's there to give it to her. Yeah. So that was really, really great to see. And before the season started, before the draft started, both of us had talked about Cameron Brink and how she literally her place was in LA because she's also just so high fashion. These are just a few of her looks in this last 6 games.
She's probably one of the best ones that serve in the WNBA. She serves all
day. I mean, she literally is just magic in a bottle.
She does. And LA, like you said, is the perfect market for her to do that.
I mean, anybody that's up and coming in fashion, I'm sure wants to reach. I mean, because literally you put something on her and it's probably going to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, she does it so well.
It tracks. Yeah.
Speaking of Cameron and the rest of the rookies class has steadily been doing better. Caitlin Clark, she struggled with Vegas. She only had, I think, like 6 points or something like
She
that.
had an assist though. She was assisting a lot. She didn't take too many
But
shots in the second
last
half.
night, she had 30 points, 6 assists, 3 blocks.
Oh yeah.
3 steals, 5 rebounds. Yeah, it was remarkable. There was at one point, Ari McDonald for the Sparks was taking free throw shots. She took one and immediately went to go D-up Caitlin Clark without even realizing that she still had a second free throw to make.
Man.
But they did get some bad news. Temmie, who's been doing great for them, is going to be out 2 to 3 weeks with foot injury that she suffered during that Sparks game. So
I know.
Man, I got a couple more things to WNBA, but before we get into it, the WNBA has been so big lately. Has anybody else realized the Big Three had their draft in Vegas and already finished it? I mean, usually the Big Three's draft was over this last weekend. Already done. Have you seen any tweets?
It's hard to keep up. You're so focused.
I mean, my thing is, I feel like a lot of people that would be tuning in and tapping in for that, because it is what you would watch during the break of NBA and whatever else, they're full-fledging into WNBA now. I feel like there's, this fanage of basketball has continued, and it was interesting to see that.
Big Three definitely got overshadowed with WNBA and stuff like that.
Sure.
And it's overshadowed with this conference, these Western Conference finals and freaking Eastern Conference. Like, it's a lot.
Well, and that's why Nancy Lieberman was at the Aces game on Saturday, I think, because she was here for Big Three.
For the Big Three, yeah.
So, yeah, it was just...
I had no idea.
It kind of made me chuckle a little bit, but I was like, because we went to a draft before, and it was just, so it was just wild that it kind of just slid under the radar for a lot of people.
Slid on
a lot of media,
slid under mine, because I had no idea. And then the fact that they, just came up on some money, too. Like, I had no idea.
Trying to offer all this money to people. It's What's up, Arlington? He said, does anybody care about the Big? I mean, people did last year.
That's my other thing too. Like, were we really, even if WNBA wasn't popping, were we really like into it to a certain degree?
I feel like it's
cool, it's televised, but we could ask that same.
It's a good buffer when like the NBA finishes. You have some basketball to watch and tell them. But I feel like there's been a lot more intrigue now into the WNBA in regards to hopefully continuing that bubble.
And absolutely. But also,
don't gotta tell us about it. We've been here, we've been doing it. But it just was interesting. I saw a Big Three post and was like, dang, like I didn't hear nobody or see any posts about this. I didn't hear about it.
We're stuck on this series that's going on, and we're stuck on the Anthony Edwards. We're stuck on the conversations about what's going on in Dallas with these Minnesota Timberwolves. Then we're stuck on the conversation with Kate. Like, it definitely got overshadowed. That's just
it's everything.
It's going to continue to get overshadowed until we get something big going on where there's more women joining this Big Three, and it's going to be all our
we need to listen.
That join
Get them coaches in there. Let's see Lisa Leslie back in it or something. Like, let's go.
Any of the OGs, like, come in. You know what I mean? But
come get it. Yes. The Sun have taken over the first place in the WNBA. They are undefeated. They're 6-0.
Yeah, the Sun is the problem. They are doing their thing. They really are.
Duana Bonner is the 5th player in the WNBA to reach 7,000 points. So kudos to her. Man. The Sun killed the Mercury last night.
Yeah.
And kudos to the Mercury. They were getting kind of hit hard by New York Liberty today, but they came back and only lost by a couple of points. But the Mercury then got to go play they play the Lynx next. So they've got like the worst road series out of anybody to have to go.
I think they were like for 3 points for field goal percentage was the lowest they had ever seen in my life. They weren't making any shots.
That was, I think, against the Storm, I think? Or not the Storm.
No.
The Sky.
Was that the Sky? I thought it was Connecticut. Like somebody.
It wasn't yesterday's game. It was the thing before that. I don't know.
They haven't been doing too well. So.
No. The Lynx are now ranked number 2. Well, I don't know about today now because we just beat them. So maybe we'll probably push back into that second spot again. But what I didn't realize, the Mystics haven't won a game at all.
Yeah,
they're 0-7. They just lost today versus the Dream. They're 0-7.
Yeah, and the Dream only won 2 games now?
I don't know. Well, they won today.
Well, that's
so
2.
There's one.
I think they were like 1-7 or something like that. They're right
And
at
then
the
we got to
bottom
give
and then the Mystics.
big props to Enrique Agunwale. Girl had a 40-point night the other night and just killed it. So yeah. Before we get into the playoff talk for the NBA, we got to give props. I didn't see what he had on for Game 4, but Jason Tatum has basically worn one of the WNBA Ps of the Jordan Tatum 2s in each of the Eastern Conference Finals. The first game he wore Ryan Howard's shoe. The second game he wore Dana Evans, and the third game he wore Ariel Powers' shoe.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's love, and I love it.
We like that, but that's the only thing I like.
That's the only thing you like about that.
Yeah.
How are you feeling knowing that the Celtics are back in a championship finals, knowing that they could go for 18?
You mean 19?
Oh, was it 19?
It would be going for 19. We're tied.
I thought you were tied at 17. Damn.
No, 18.
Oh, wow.
We've got 18 in our bubble, but anyway, I digress.
Okay.
I think it's great that they can do that. I wish our organization would be always in the playoff conversation.
Sure.
I wish we would have that same type of legacy and culture of being the Lakers and having 18 wins, that we should be always not having to participate in a play-in, but always be in a conversation of playoffs, getting like coming to Mount Rushmore or climbing the Mount Everest to get to the level of going to a Western Conference Final. Like, you got to pass us. That's Boston.
Right.
Boston has been doing that. Boston has always drafted prime players, kept it young. We got rid of a lot of our young people on the sake of number 23 or whatever. On the sake of that, and we're struggling, and we should never have to struggle like that. And the thing of it is I don't want to see Boston win this. I do not. I'm making that very clear. I think Dallas is the team that can beat Boston. But I think when they go for 19, Lakers need to be right there with them battling for the 19. That
depends on what the Lakers are going to do this offseason. I mean, really,
listen, if they get Bronny, I'm not a Laker. I mean, I'm taking a sabbatical. Like,
sabbatical.
I'm another team.
Well, Bronny's still in the draft. He's still sticking around. So that means apparently from what there was some reports that he has only talked to the Lakers and the Suns.
Absolutely right. Exactly. So, like I said, if this turns into this Bronny and Braun thing,
you're out.
Entertainment.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Dallas and the Mavericks, their series. Minnesota Dallas and the Timberwolves. Minnesota came back and got one game. So they're heading back to Minnesota. It's 3-1. Do we foresee there being any ability for Minnesota to stay in this series and to come back, to make that uphill climb?
First of all, the weather is trash in Minnesota. I don't know if you saw the snowstorm that they got going on out there.
Well, I've got that. I've got that coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I've never seen anything like it before. But the Midwest and even down south, the weather has been crazy for the summer. It's going through a lot of different stuff. But Anthony Edwards is not disappointing when he says that there's a chance.
If he can do it.
He's literally putting it out there that he thinks he can do it. Will they do it? That's debatable because I need that same Cat to show up. I need that same Gobert to show up that was in Game 4. Like, you need all of that. It can't just be
all the factors
carrying the team on his back. It just can't. And Naz Reid needs to start. So you're either going to bench Cat for the first part of the game or you're going to bench Rudy Gobert, but Naz Reid needs to start. That was the change. The change was him starting, which we have been preaching. Well, not on the show, but I've been preaching with family. But yeah. That he's starting, those adjustments that were made were very effective, but they almost lost that game. Had Luka not scored that free throw, I think we'd have a different conversation right now.
But the thing is that Dallas barely won the last two games. So up until then,
they're good.
Exactly, they won. So I'm just saying, like, it's a good series. I'll put it that way. Like, there's tight games. There's no blowouts. It's it's good. So we'll see what happens. But yeah,
I take the gentleman's sweep if that happens. But I need a team that can beat Boston. I don't think Minnesota can do it. So I don't want Dallas to win, but Dallas is the team to me that can beat Boston. That's the team that you want.
Okay. All right. There we go. There we have it.
Yeah. That after the Pacers. Let's give it up for the Pacers though. They did their darndest.
They tried.
But Tyrese Halliburton going down was not fair.
No.
The Tito's, they'll be back. Like, these are good young teams. with no veteran leadership. They might need one veteran just to steer them in the right direction, but they really did that. They did that. They did it over the Bucks. They did it over the Knicks. I mean, they did that. So I got to give them their props. I don't think we're never not going to see the Pacers come back. I think they will be around. Yeah, if they keep this team.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like, we're going to see what happens. Shout out Jonathan Watson. Thanks for checking in with us.
Hey, F. Boston Johnson. I agree. They don't get 19 until they play us. That's how that's going to work.
All these Laker fans.
Hopefully I'm alive when that happens. But they ain't getting no 19.
I ain't got a dog in the fight. So I'm still reading up on articles about Lonzo Ball and his 55th ankle injury and leg surgery. So
well, I hate it because my brother's like, if they go Dallas, Boston, I'm not even watching this series. I'm like, dude, I'm watching just because I want them to beat Boston.
Hey, so as Mo had alluded to earlier, we don't know what's happening in Minnesota, but I can guarantee that me and Mo did not have the Cottonwood Storm on our bingo
I definitely did not have that on my bingo card.
Here you go.
That is something that stands out right now. That's in center field.
Cottonwood falling like snow in July.
I'm sorry.
Baseball fans are loyal. They're hanging in there, but I would be not in there.
My allergies would be all sorts of everywhere.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I couldn't. I
couldn't do it
much. Yeah. Only thing I got from Major League Baseball right now is, of course, we all heard about Angel Hernandez. 30 plus years as an umpire for the MLB, is finally retiring. Called it that he wanted to finally spend time with his family, and a lot of people have been making memes and in the comments about this was like the first call he's had right in years. So.
Yeah.
He was definitely not one of the most liked umpires in the league. So that was interesting. Yeah.
It's time. 30 years. It's definitely time.
Yeah. So, and then also the Braves lose Acuna Jr. for the season. ACL.
Yeah, that's cold.
That's tough.
That is tough. Oh, that is tough. Poor Goose.
So, I don't know what the score is right now. If anybody's in the chat, give me I know that the Oilers and Stars game was today. Dallas is up 2-1. So there was this thing called the Ice Block Challenge. I can't remember who put it on, but they basically had 4 people competing to break through a piece of ice to get tickets for tonight's game. I don't know if the marketing was on purpose or not, or the way the video angle was set up, but this is what the Ice Block Challenge looked like.
So you had to do it with your hand?
Yeah, you had to try and get through the ice with your hand, but the angle of the video just,
looks a little subjective. Yeah.
But someone did actually rub their way through the ice and get tickets for tonight's game. So it was too much. It was a lot of hands, a lot of motion.
A lot of hand involved.
There was a lot going on in there.
A lot of hand involved.
Arlington said that the Edmonton tied the series. 5-2. So
oh wow,
Edmonton won. Okay, so series is tied 2-2. That means both NHL series are tied at 2-2 tomorrow. The Panthers and Rangers go at it at 5:00. This could be an interesting. It could be a long, drawn out battle to get to the
Mr. Lord Stanley.
To store Lord Stanley.
Right.
Yeah. I'm ready for the Bridgerton next episodes to come out. Dang. Lord Stanley just made me think Bridgerton for some reason. But anyway.
I know, Lord Stanley.
I know. OTAs for the NFL started. Of course, you've got these 2 guys for the Bengals hanging out, not going to OTAs. T. Higgins has made it clear that he wants to be traded, but he knows he's been franchise tagged. He most likely playing for the Bengals through the season. Chase wants to wait until after Justin Jefferson signs his next contract because he wants to make more, at least, if not more than Justin Jefferson. You got 2 of the biggest names in wide receiving for the NFL, and so far they haven't showed up for OTA. I don't know if it happened today, but as of yesterday when OTA started, they had not shown up.
Okay.
And for all those Commander fans out there, it looks like the Commander's name of the Commanders will stick around a little bit longer. The team announced they will keep the name for now, despite about a fans poll of 54% either disliking or hating the name. So looks like more yellow W's on helmets, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know what the name should be.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Hey,
Wizard.
this
Mystic.
is the time
Uh-huh.
now. If anybody is in Vegas or even outside of Vegas, maybe, and you're looking to adopt a cute little guy, let me introduce you to Boa. Boa is 1 year old. He's a tripod dog, but he gets around really well. I got some great videos of him to share, but unfortunately they all have music behind him, so I couldn't share it for YouTube purposes. But he is super friendly. He loves other social and dogs that are tolerant. He loves all humans. He loves kids, you guys. There's a lot of dogs out there that aren't kid friendly, and this guy is it. Look at that face and those eyes.
I know.
And he gets around so good on his little 3 legs. And the two there's Cow, the bottom left. They're both tripod dogs. Cow's the little girl of Tilly's foster family. That's her number 1 right there. So if you want to adopt Boa or get more information on him, go to animalhelpalliance.org. You can fill out an application.
Was Boa born that way?
No, I believe he had to have it removed. I can't remember why, but most of them that are tripods usually have to have it removed. They're not many.
And he's so happy.
So happy. He has the best life, except that he's in foster care. He wants his own house. He wants his own family. And what the special is that because it is a summer special, they're waiving their usual adoption fee for him. So if they do find an adoptive source that meets all their requirements, they will let him out for free. Also, House of Paws, Tilly's favorite place to get all of her food and dog items, they will be giving away bags of food for him to get him started on his journey with his forever home.
Oh,
Bam.
Boa, please somebody take Boa.
Oh, please take Boa. Yes. So look out for him. I did have something to share. And then again, Gabby, I feel bad.
Well, you know.
But here's what I did not realize. So of course she's not going to be competing for Paris. She did have an ankle injury. What I didn't understand is that she's 28. If she would have competed, she would have been the oldest gymnastics Olympian to compete since 1952.
Wow.
28. Can you believe that? 28 as the oldest female gymnast since 1952.
I believe it though. I believe that. So but you gotta look at long term. You gotta look at the future. And she knows she's a champion. Yeah. She is an Olympic medalist and she's won and but ankle injuries, that's par for the course as you age and training and all of that. So that's the longevity. It's just kind of sad that we won't be able to see her. But I wish her a very healthy and speedy recovery and look forward to whatever future holds for her.
For sure.
If she decides to compete again. And I just want her to be healthy and strong.
I hope so. Yeah.
She don't look it. She really doesn't.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't at all. So for those that are audio with us, if you need to take a break and check back with us later on, I got 2 videos to showcase next. One is, I have my love for sneakers as well as a girl power story. It goes to Jewel Lloyd, who basically designed a player's edition Nike. I think it's the GT Cut P3 or GT Cut P3S that she made for autism awareness. So she made it because of her best friend's son who has nonverbal autism, the Swan family, and Justice Swan is the boy. He always was obsessed with drawing smiley faces. So she incorporated that. She also incorporated some of his sister's writing on the shoe. Aww. So Nike really went through it, but here's just like a little backstory on that.
I got to know Lacey many years ago, and she found out that her son was nonverbal autistic. And, that's for any parent, for anyone, it's something that you don't really know much about until you go through the situation. And I've been able to connect with their family and be a part of their family and see the progression of Justice and their whole family, honestly. It's a lot of trial and error, it's a lot of just figuring it out, but it's also a beauty behind it because you see the growth, and knowing how sweet Justice is and how he communicates with us, it's remarkable. And so me and him, that's my guy. I have a social bond with him for, for whatever reason. He knows that I got his back, and so every time I'm with him, we just hang out, play together, laugh together. I'm a big kid too, so it helps that I have another buddy who understands me as well, but that's my guy, and this is pretty cool to have his mark and his story told on a shoe. Another good correlation for the shoe and for the Swan family is that they are putting on a autism basketball camp, which is the first one in Tallahassee, the only one in Tallahassee, which is really cool. It takes a lot of resources to put that on, and so a lot of the proceeds from this shoe will go to help sponsor for that. With the help of you guys, there is a link that you guys can click to help donate. It would mean a lot to me, it would mean a lot to the Swan family, and obviously it would mean huge for justice for every kid to get the shoe, but also be able to tell a story and also have a great time playing basketball. So thank you guys for the help, and go Storm.
Little Boy Blue
Foundation.org.
Yeah,
I like
such
the
a
shoe.
sweet story.
She was
One of
fire.
my first babysitting gigs was with a child that had autism, and they are some of the smartest, most intensely loving kids, and it's just so dope that she did this for her friend's son. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to Nike for kind of breaking over that. She had mentioned that getting this developed took some time, so I'm glad it actually worked and it happened for her. The next one, I know you've all have seen this girl on social media before. Her name's Dariana Roberts, aka Yana. So she's a 9-year-old flag football player. She plays mainly, it looks like, against boy competition, and she's
beasting them,
smoking them.
She's beasting them.
And then someone got one of these guys on social media had made this little clip of him narrating, and it had me dying. So I had to share, because she's out of Dallas. You can follow her on social media at Yana So Fly with 2 Y's. So YANA SOFLYY. Yana So Fly. Check her out.
By now, we've all seen this video of this girl chewing her gum, plotting out her path, and then sliding on these boys. But me being me, I just had to see more. Once again, give me the ball. Skirt! Every boy on the field in the same position. Coach standing there like, here we go. Look how the tables have turned. Oh, the boys got cooties. Whoop! It's that little last minute whoop. The body control. Sitting there like I tried to take her flag, and I took a seat. Watch the sideline. Damn it! That boy was fed up. And then had to go jog and get the ball back. This is the frustration of a man whose pregame speech 100% mentioned that there were girls. Look, as soon as she get that sweep, me, out of there. Homie already know what it is. He not even looking at the ball carrier. He looking down the field to see how many yards he got to catch her. She's sliding. Girl dads everywhere smiling at their phone. As soon as she get this ball, gone. Really look how she's running, though. I can hear the fast sounds through the screen. I cannot wait to see this girl in high school. It's her body control to dip, step back, spin into a karaoke.
And still get a flag yanked when she went through there.
Nothing. I don't think I've ever been able to move like that in my life. That girl was dipping, sliding,
Black girl
big props
magic.
to Yaya.
It is a thing.
Listen, she is amazing.
And
I know her daddy proud. Girl dad proud right there.
When she becomes a teenager and still has those moves, but she definitely needs to be on that track field for real, doing some smoke. She is smoking them. I saw that clip the other day on social media, and I was like, she is beasting. The only caveat to it is she's wearing a Kansas City jersey. She's playing for some Kansas City flag football team, and clearly,
but you can't choose the team sometimes that you play for.
I get all that, but she clearly looks like a Raider doing what she's doing with those type of moves, honey. It's screaming.
Well, we're gonna have to reach out to her, maybe get her a little Raiders good bag. You got to get her on the field. That's just
she's the truth. She's beasting those boys. Poor boys. What does that do for the boys' ego? That a girl is crushing.
Listen, here's the deal. What it shouldn't do, it shouldn't do anything, because those boys should be trained better, and they should be, given. Here's my issue, is that it's probably the dads that are now in the car like, how are you gonna lose to a girl? And they're the ones that are making them feel worse. Let the kids play. She's a beast.
I don't know if they are. I think maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. Maybe they are literally like, you gave it your all, but she is special.
You saw the coach on the sideline. He literally threw his clipboard and was mad.
There's nothing he could do. He was frustrated. He probably was like, why didn't I get her?
How did I not find it?
She should have been on our team.
Yeah, he
But I
did say,
saw that and I
"Oh,
said, this girl
boys,
is no
cooties."
joke.
That girl can play. She could probably beat some older. I mean, I won't say older, but her speed and athleticism could definitely match some of the older kids that are playing a little higher than her. She's looks
She
phenomenal. I
definitely
can't
could
wait to
probably
see
give the
more.
11 and 12-year-olds some action.
Yeah, I
She
believe
probably
it. The
could.
speed in itself is
I mean, I don't think the
ridiculous.
parents can catch up with her. So let alone a 12 and, 10, 11, 12-year-old,
Yeah.
11 and 12-year-old.
Her parents got their hands full. Anyways,
They
hey
probably, I
guys,
can't catch
thank
this
you.
girl. She's running down the street. Getting bolted.
Hey, thanks for tapping in with us this week. We appreciate you. It's a special After Dark
Always.
episode. You can always catch us here at Girl Chat Sports on YouTube, all social media. Again, and shout out to Fuel Network, where you can find us live on your Fire Stick or Amazon. That is Amazon. On your Fire Stick or Roku device, check in with the app, search for it. You'll find us there going live on Wednesday. So we appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend. For those in Vegas, stay cool. For those in Minnesota, watch out for the cottonwood storms.
Clarendon D. I mean, it looked like snowfall in there. Like all
You might want to break the mask back out at this point, because
that was insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, Dallas
anyways, we're out of here. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you in June.
Yes. New
Bye.
month. New month, new heat.